Good evening, everyone. It is your girl V with Reality Recap in need of your energy right now. Let's make sure all our streams are in here. I hope you guys had a good Monday, a great start to your week. I'm your girl V with Reality Recap here. For tonight is an evening tea talk due to my scheduling. And we're here to discuss last night's episode, or should I say, season 9 premiere of Real Housewives of Potomac. We are streaming live right now across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure to be on the check in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, your questions. I will answer them as I give you my unsolicited thoughts on last night's episode. Now, y'all, I need y'all to pick me up. I need your energy right now. I'm a little down today. I really am. And let me just start by saying, because I'm going to tell you why really quickly before we get into it. Like, I don't do this, meaning this reality recap, for any other reason except for I love reality TV and I have for so long. And I know that when doing what you love, things will come. And I was so excited because I thought I had my first like ambassador type influencer deal for my podcast because I've really been wanting Fashion Nova, just because I wear their pajamas every Sunday when I do midday tea talk. I wear my pajamas. I wear Fashion Nova pajamas, guys. So I need your energy because this morning I got an email and it said it was from Fashion Nova. Hey, Summer's Finest. It said it was from Fashion Nova collaborators. And oh, they wanted to collaborate me and pay me for 2 posts a week and send this information. I was leery because I know, the scammers be scamming. I was leery. I didn't send any information. They asked for my address. I sent my friend address. Sorry. I told her though, I called her like, well, you got cameras, so you should be all right. So I didn't send them my address or anything, but they were like, oh, yes, we're going to send you 8 outfits, pick it from the site. And I truly, I was leery of it. I sent them like my business cell phone number, nothing like linked to my credit or my social or anything. I didn't send them anything like that. But it was a scam. And I'm glad I figured it out because they were saying something to the effect of, oh, well, to weed out collaborators that don't, use the clothes, we ask that you pay $60 for the first shipment of your 8 items. And then subsequently after that, we will pay the shipping and continue to send you outfits. And I'm saying, well, where's the contract? When am I gonna get paid? How do I get paid? Like all of these questions. Like then they told me, well, you can pay the $60 through Cash App, Bitcoin. That was another red flag. Another red flag was that it was like midnight last night when they sent this email. But long story short, y'all, they tried to get your girl. And it didn't work because when they sent like the Cash App that I was supposed to send this $60 to, it was just a regular like Jody Watson 2020. And I looked her up on Cash App and it said they had only been on Cash App since like March 2024. So it was giving scammy vibes. So I ended up just blocking it. But I was a little sad today. Like I really thought I really thought that I had got my first like ambassador sponsorship for my page. But again, like I said, I don't do this for the money. I really do this for the enjoyment, to have something outside of the day-to-day norm of being a mom and a wife, something to identify me as me. So, but I was like, I didn't tell nobody really except for my husband. I told my best friend and he was like immediately like, girl, that's a scam. I was like, you hating because your team losing right now against the Steelers last night when I got it. But yeah, they tried to get your girl, but they didn't. So if you guys, be on the lookout. I actually went to YouTube after the fact and saw how many people get these type of emails and stuff. And I actually had my husband do a little research. and saw that, they get these emails all the time. And I reached out to Fashion Nova directly asking, like, yo, is this y'all? And they said no, they would never send anything from like a Gmail domain. So, be safe with your information, guys. Don't fall for the okey doke. I was smart enough not to, but some people may. So, just sharing why I need your energy right now, why I'm trying to pick myself up because I was feeling a little embarrassed about it because I was so excited, but it is what it is. Let's get into it while we're here, though, and I know the energy will come. Last night's season premiere, season 9 of Real Housewives of Potomac. We're going to get into it. Let's put the ladies up here on the screen, honey. We had our returning ladies as well as some new ladies that we're going to get to know a little bit tonight. And then also, did you guys see, I put it in my story that Robin Dixon sent a congratulations to the ladies on their season 9 premiere. She's put that in her story. I also saw that she posted, y'all know she been working on her Glow 360. She opened like a franchise chain of, facial treatment spa. And what a coincidence. The grand opening is coming just in time for the premiere of Real Housewives of Potomac season 9. It says that her books are open, officially taking clients now, but they will start taking clients, I think it said effective October 22nd. So what a convenience. I also saw that Monique Samuels was live last night and she was talking about how she got all her healing oils and products and packages of, healing oils for your immune system, stomach aches, all of those good things. Again, just in time for the Real Housewives of Potomac season 9 premiere. So good luck to those ladies, and let's get into last night. So we start off, girl. I was gonna say, girl, but we started off last night with a reenactment of Karen's DUI, honey. I said not a dramatization, but yes, they gave us, which to me kind of violates her legal issues because did you give this story to Bravo for them to do this reenactment? But I said, where the hell did that deer come from? Is Bambi gonna be at the court hearing? But I didn't hear nothing about a deer being the cause of the accident. When the accident came out and the statement that was given was saying that she was emotional driving, like she was out to dinner and she had been grieving, upset about the loss to her parents. She was kind of driving, crying. That type of situation was a statement that she gave, and she veered off the road and hit a tree, honey. But then she was cited for the DUI and all the other charges that we heard last night. So where did that deer come from? I have no idea. But scared the hell out of me. I would have ran off the road probably if it was me. I'm scared of deers when I'm driving like that, but I don't know why or where that came into the dramatization. I don't know how she is going to prove that. That's what I said when I heard it. Summer's finest is emotional driving the real thing. That's what I said. I had never even heard of that before. Um, I mean, there's girls crying in a Rolls Royce every day, ain't it? So I don't know. But that's what was originally her statement or what was given. And she was then cited for the DUI. So, honey, listen, I don't know where this did come from. I don't know. I thought it was also very coincidental that after we saw the dramatization, we saw Giselle pick her up and Giselle acting like she cared. Talking about something, we're not going to drive past the crash site. I know that can be triggering for you, is it? And then we see Karen jump when she see these two deers on the side of the road. I just thought that was very coincidental, honey. But yeah, we saw the dramatization, and before we got to Giselle picking Karen up, we see all the ladies give their 2 cents. And of course, they're telling us everything that the cancel culture will want to hear, that they don't stand for that you have to get a car, get a Uber, that it was irresponsible. And Ashley, Messy Ashley, made very sure to tell us, right, that this was Karen's second offense. She doesn't want you guys to forget that. She cares, right? But she don't want you to forget, honey, that this was her second DUI offense. So she made sure to make that clear in her confessional. But anyway, Giselle picks up Karen and takes her to breakfast to be nosy. Let's be honest. I don't know if Giselle really understands how disingenuous she comes off, but it is blatantly obvious that she does not care if Karen was okay or not. She wants to get the tea on the situation, the court dates, all of what happened. That is all she went to breakfast for. Okay? No other reason. Um and also the guy at the restaurant was clearly doing too much. I don't know if that was something that Karen asked him to do, but he was like, oh, we have the Grand Dame breakfast special, which just sound like a regular breakfast menu item that you would have on the menu. Is French toast, eggs, and bacon. You're a breakfast place. What else would you have on the menu? But okay, if it's the Grand Dame special, then that's what we're gonna call it, honey. And he also made it a point to say that Karen has never had a drink in his restaurant. While meanwhile, there's three ladies over to the side with their mimosas. Like, okay, I don't know who paid him, who didn't. If he was just doing that to be on camera, but he was definitely doing too much, and it was given guilty. So he might as well had not had did that. But yeah, Giselle, she's talking to her, wanting to know when it's the court dates, and Karen's not answering because clearly she can't. It's legal issues. I don't even know why they're trying. That's why I don't know where that reenactment dramatization came from. Because, girl, is that what you're telling the people? I don't know. But yeah, she asked about that. When was the court date? How was she doing? They talked a little bit, got a little bit shady about Mia and her dude Ink and how it's a revolving door. She's moving one guy out and moving another one in simultaneously. But also, Giselle let Karen know that she was planning a birthday party for her. Um, and they talk about the guest list, and we learned that, Mia would be there, Jacqueline would be there, Wendy. Speaking of Wendy, Giselle made it clear that she was looking to be in a better place with Wendy. After the death of her father, she was going to try to make amends and move forward and not be in a bad space. My personal thoughts were Robin ain't there no more and you can't handle Wendy on your own. You don't want to be on the outs. You done lost your ally. And you need to get over this quickly with Wendy before she come after you. Because you can't handle Wendy and that intelligence shade she be throwing. So, but yeah, she's saying that she wants to be in a better place. That's where she is. Don't you just love when a housewife get into her Zen era? But she's, in a peaceful era right now, and she wants to make amends with Wendy, so she's inviting her. And then this is where the new girls come in. Karen says, she wants to add a few more girls to the party, which is it Vivian and Stacy? I think that's the other girl's name, Vivian, or woman's name, I should say. Yes, Vivian and Stacy. They're going to be added to the guest list and asked to come to the party. And yeah, we have a party called the Hatitude Party, and we'll get into that a little bit in a little bit. We then see Mia and G meet up with the kids, and they're talking about co-parenting and getting along, and how Mia once, wanted to be clear that she gave her all into someone finally said her AARP friends. Vivian looks like she may be an AARP friend, but not Stacy. Stacy looked like she ain't there yet. I don't know. Vivian looked like she might be there. But yeah, we see Mia and Gia. Mia and G having a conversation about the co-parenting, and Mia expressing how she gave her all into the marriage, and G saying that's your perspective. I don't see it that way. How could that be so when you you left this and ran right into another man's arm? And she's saying that's not the case, but literally they showed a picture of her running into Ink's arms. So I that was hilarious to me. I even put it on my flyer for tonight's tea talk because it was just hilarious how production did that. And he said you literally ran into his arms and they showed that picture. But she did. How can we act like you were already seeing, dating, sleeping with this guy while you were married? You know, whatever arrangement that her and G had. Um, G wasn't part of the conversation, but I don't know. He definitely made it clear that he feels like she ran from one guy to the other. They get into the co-parenting. Summer Finer said G don't play with Mia at all, not even a little bit. He ain't giving her not 1 inch, let alone a yard. He is not playing. You will not mess up my good God given name on this show. Is basically how he making it come across. But yeah, so they get into the co-parenting and how, Mia's saying that G does not want their son Jeremiah to get a haircut with anybody else. And he was like, I ain't say anybody else. But she said, "Oh, just ink." And he's like, "Well, you said it." Yeah. So we knew when she said it, G, who you didn't want him to get a haircut with. And Mia made it clear that Ink is coming to town and he wants a paternity test done on Jeremiah. Nasty work, bruh. Like, we 12 minutes into the season premiere, and you asking this man for a paternity test. Lord have mercy. Is the ink even dry on your dag on divorce yet? I don't think so. But okay, girl. I feel like really Mia's doing this because G brought it up, and it's like, you brought it up, now I'm gonna stick it to you. And also, you brought it up, I want to clear my name because she says she did IUI. So if she did IUI, that literally means that, you know, G did the thing in the cup and they inserted it in her. So I'm trying to, I mean, listen, there is always chance for miracle if she was sleeping with Ink during that time. Just because you do IUI doesn't mean that you can never conceive on your own. So there is a possibility that if she says she was sleeping with Ink and, she did the IUI, like, why would you do that though? If you're doing IUI, why would you sleep with somebody else in the midst of that? I don't know. I think she just wants the best storyline on here because Jeremiah, to me, and a lot of you said in the comments, looks just like G. But I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I was trying to get a look last night when he had that helmet on, but I couldn't really tell. So with that said, she, wants it cleared and she's saying that her son may one day see this show and she doesn't want him to have questions later on down the line. She want to nip it in the bud now. G is against the paternity test. He don't want it done, but how do you stop that? I know Mia said that legally, she said that legally Inc. can request to have it or take the legal rights route to have it done because as a male or potential father, he has the right to know. But how do you stop that? You don't need G to do the paternity test, right? You could just swab the son and Inc. and get it done. So how does he stop that? That's why I'm saying it's not really making sense to me unless legally that's something that can't be done in Maryland. But how do you stop that? So I'm interested to see where it goes. It's definitely just giving drama for the cameras. Cause I don't know. When I see Mia right now I ain't gonna say real life, but on Instagram, I saw them all on vacation together, Ink and G hanging out. Maybe that's the place they're in now. I don't know. But I see G and Ink and them hanging out at the pool, clicking drinks. Hey, Sativa, you made it. We talk about Mia right now and her telling G that she wanted a paternity test. So I'm not too clear if I believe this is a true beef and storyline again, or not just a storyline. I do see G and Ink hanging out together, and all of them hanging out and clicking drinks and cheering. So again, maybe that's where they are now before this filming, but especially if Ink would truly have come out to be the father. I don't see them hanging out at the pool with the kids all together. I don't see that. So maybe she spoiled it by posting things, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Sativa said, "Me and G are a family. G is old and needs someone to take care for take care of him." Um, yeah, I know you meant take care of him, not you, right, Sativa? I know what you meant, but yeah, I mean, Mia said that he helped wash and fold the man drawers and put it up in his apartment. So hats off to Mia though, cause how do you finesse that? But hats off to a player. I ain't mad at you, but we'll see if this maternity test happens when Ink comes to town. We then see Ashley visit the lawyer's office because finally, I don't know how many seasons later, Ashley decides with her kitten wig, or what they call it, a pussycat wig, that little short wig in her. Do she thrive on having terrible interview looks? Like, does she thrive on having interview or confessional looks that just look terrible? It seems like every season during the season she looks good and she dresses okay or whatever. But does she thrive on having confessional looks that are just terrible? Because that little pussycat wig, slick back, wet style is not cute on her at all. Sativa said blending family is not easy. Yeah. I mean, maybe they're good now. We'll have to see. I'm interested in seeing that paternity test if it actually does come to fruition. But yeah, Ashley is ready. Giselle is her muse. Hi, Victoria. How are you? But yeah, that little pussycat wig is not giving nothing for me. But she went to the lawyer's office. She said she ready to get a divorce. That she's ready to date around and date as many as she can. I said, well, what's different from what you've been doing? She been dating around. The soccer player, like they even flash back to showing her. She had a full-on relationship with the dude from one of them winter houses or something, right? So how is that different from what you already been doing? Sativa said Ashley can't dress and takes after Giselle. Yeah. At least Giselle hair be looking good though. I mean, it's improved from when she first started, but at least at least Giselle hair be looking good, but that pussycat wig wasn't hitting on nothing. But yeah, she talking about she ready to date. Like I said, I don't know how that's any different than what she already been doing. And she already was dating and dating around and around and around. She didn't touch on what she's getting out of the divorce. Like, is Michael going to continue to pay for that expensive ass home she's in? Is she going to get some alimony? She didn't talk about that. She really stuck to talking about how she really wants, it sounds like damn near sole custody, but she wants her boys to be at home with her as much as possible. And the lawyer, I don't know how a lawyer can promise you that or say like, well, I think we're in a good position to get that. You don't know that. That was giving red flag. I said, girl, you a public defender? Did you get hired by by Letitia of Love After Lockup or something? Did she refer you? Cause girl, I don't know how you can try to guarantee something like that, but I want to know more about the money situation. Did she get anything? D Candy, don't say that. This sounds like you didn't miss much last night, huh? It was a good, I mean, it was no Salt Lake City. You hear me, D Candy? Because Salt Lake City came through and slayed the girls with their season premiere. But I thought it was a cool season premiere. Latoya said, I'm so over Ashley and Wendy tripped me out about the fusion. Yeah. The GNA fusion. She's speaking facts though, Latoya. Sativa said Michael's going to take her through the mud, especially after mentioning this, like the children on the show. He definitely is. That's the same thing I was thinking. Sativa also said Michael is a control person, and I'm sure she won't be able to do too much. I mean, she already doing a lot, if you get what I mean. And yeah, D Candy, I mean, like, yeah, it wasn't no Salt Lake City, but it was a cool season premiere. I'm excited for some things I saw on like the little preview at the end. Sativa said, just like Lisa and Lenny, hers buying her a house, but no man can live in it type stuff. Right. Right. You know? But and then they also do that's exactly what they do, Sativa. Like they'll buy a home for you for the children, but no child can move in. They'll pay you alimony until you get married, and then it stops it. So, far as I'm concerned, just don't remarry and just say the man spend the night. Loophole that motherfucker. You know what I mean? You said, Latoria said, I didn't feel sorry for lying behind Mia. What you mean? Not following. Summer's finally said, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I agree with that, Summer Finance. A 6 out of 10. Sativa said, collect the bag for show, Sativa. That's how you do it. It's always a loophole. You know what I mean? Well, Latoria, tell me what you mean. Why you didn't feel sorry for lying behind Mia? Let me know. Oh, I get it. Lying behind. I thought you meant like somebody behind Mia, but I get you. Lying ass Mia. That's what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for Mia either. I just thought it was savage yet fair. Like I said in my caption, we 12 minutes in and you asking the man for a maternity test, but again, he did bring that up. He did start that last season. Latoya said, Ashley don't get nothing but child support. Her dumb behind used Michael lawyer for the deco and prenup. She gets nothing. She not even getting alimony. That's why she didn't mention it. And I can believe it for the second prenup when they redid the prenup. I could believe it. That's why she didn't mention it. I really wanted to see like when it's final what she's getting out of it, but she better hope these Real Housewives of Potomac checks keep rolling in. That's why she started doing drag brunches all over the country, trying to get her bag together to pay for that house. But that's what I'm wondering too, Latoya. Like she gets child support, is he paying for the house? Anything like that? Summer's Finest said, whose storyline are you here for? I mean, I'm not clear if Mia is, like I said, I'm not clear if Mia's storyline is real just because I see G and Ink and all of them hanging out. So I'm not clear on if it's real. But I'm here for that storyline, really, with Mia and G and the whole Ink situation. I think that's gonna be the most interesting. With Karen's DUI, she really gets to use the excuse that it's a legal matter and she can't really talk about it. I just want to see how messy Giselle is going to get pretending to be her friend when we know she's not. But me and G is really like the highlight of it for me. Yeah, I know, Latoria, that I think you're talking about Ashley, that she mentions it in the reunion and how she didn't get anything. I just want to see finalized divorce. What does it say? That's all I be looking for, to kind of see what it says when it's all said and done and the dust settles. What does it say? Sativa said, Lord Michael played her like a fiddle. The ladies are going to make fun of her all over it. Yeah. Love D Nice. Hey girls. I'm over Mia's storyline. I'm not yet, Love D Nice. Now that Ink is gonna, from what we're seeing in the previews, Ink is gonna be on the show a little bit more. We're gonna see him. So I'm interested to see their dynamic. Is it all that they make it to be on Instagram? Is he that great for her? I was living for the shade that Giselle and Karen was throwing at their little breakfast, eating the Karen Grand Dame French toast, when they said that all the pictures she be standing behind and stretching her arm out to make him look taller, and then they had all them example pictures. I was cracking up. I was cracking up. Summer's Finest said Mia in the middle with light green. I think it's Mia season. Yeah, she's in the. That's usually an indication. Her, and then you got Karen down there. So I do think that that's what it's going to be. Love D Nice. That's what I'm kind of tired of. Ashley and the divorce situation. It's like, get it done already. Victoria said, I was shocked at Giselle for being there like she was for Karen. It was shocking. her with that drink, and she just can't help herself. Yeah, like I said, at the breakfast part of it, she was not there for any other reason but to be nosy. She didn't care. She just wanted to know, when is the court date? Hear anything from Karen's mouth that she could go run back and tell the rest of the girls. I sometimes struggle and wonder, does she does she realize how disingenuous she comes across on our TV screens, or do she really think that she's like hiding out in the open? Like, do she really think we can't see and think that she's actually concerned from Karen? She can't be serious. She cannot think that we actually believe that. No way. But she's not really her friend, and that's what I said in my caption earlier. You can't convince me that she really is. Summer's Fun said, I don't see why what Ashley brings to the show. At least we know Giselle is messy. Yeah, I mean, I ain't trying to get rid of Giselle on the show, but stop playing with me if you want me to think that you really caring friend. Victoria said it was funny how Mia came with the energy and it backfired on her. Talk about someone calling somebody drunk. Yeah. That was the shadiest little brunch dinner ever. But yeah, we saw Ashley at the at the divorce lawyer. Wendy resigning as a professor. We saw her shoot off that email. I thought she was going to write a long dissertation, but she just sent her little 4 sentences and said, I'm out of here in the end of the month. And I think it was time for it. I don't know how you would balance that anyway, being on this show. It looks like her podcast is back and she has some great guests. I saw she's had just hilarious, and the White House correspondent is going to be on her first episodes returning on her podcast. So I was here for it. So she resigned from her professor position, but she didn't tell her mom yet. Now that's going to be funny because her mother is so adamant about education and the professor being able to tell her friends and brag that she's a professor. And if anything, Wendy can always go back to it. I'm sure she could get another professor job if she ever wanted to go back to it. But she has to tell her mom, and I can't wait for that conversation. She gonna have a shrine on her after that. But we then see Karen meet up with the newbies on the show, Vivian and Stacy. So Vivian is a boutique owner. We didn't get too much information about Vivian last night, but she owns a boutique, gorgeous dresses that they were trying on. And we meet Stacy. Stacy has a long bio, but the main point is Stacy was a main staple on QVC for the last couple of years. Like, she's up there, talking, selling the stuff. She definitely has the voice for it, a perfect fit, but she is back in her hometown of Potomac after being on QVC for some years. Now, right off the bat, when Giselle and Karen met and they talked about these women being added to the birthday list and being able to come to the Hatitude party, I said to myself, something ain't right, because Stacy, all the pictures they showed of Stacy, the man's face was blurred out between her, the man, and her child. And I was like, oh, something ain't right there. So when they were at the Vivian's boutique trying on dresses, Karen noticed that Stacy didn't have her ring on, and she asked her, and she said that she had been separated for about a year. They're currently going through the divorce. She didn't give too much detail as to why she's getting a divorce. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more into that because I'm nosy. I'm interested. Why are they divorcing after being married? I think she said, was it like 22 years? I know it was a decade plus that they have been married and they're getting a divorce. And it seemed kind of like it was almost like the reverse, right? With the other chick, Sharice, where her husband lived separately in another state, and then when he came back, it was really just to get the rest of his stuff and go back to where he came from. So she just mentioned that when she came back from, Latoya said 16 years, right? It was definitely, like I said, a decade plus. So when she came, it says she just mentioned when she came back to Potomac, or when she came back from doing QVC in the other state, it didn't work when they were together. So I want to know a little bit more about that. I mean, it's not a main headlining story, but I want to know a little bit more about that. Latoya said, "Have Wendy not learned from last season with the Holy Ghost set fire? She needs to leave that alone." I just can't wait till she tell her mom that, because I think her mom is hilarious. I can't wait till she tell her that she's no longer a professor and see how that goes. But yeah, we met Vivian and Stacy last night at Vivian's boutique. They tried on some gorgeous gowns. I'm assuming Vivian's boutique is very successful. She's in the mall. It looked beautiful. They were sipping champagne. And she looks very Vivian, she looks well established, not really for the nonsense, more mature. Um Summer Fawn is over here talking about some she one of Karen's AARP friends. I don't know if she's AARP age, but they look like, she looks like a mature woman that's really not here for the foolishness. Stacy, I don't know. I seen her do a little yelling in the previews that we saw last night, but is she really gonna throw the shade? Is she a reader? I ain't too sure yet. We got to get to know her a little bit more. But yeah, it made sense after Stacy talked about her separation going through a divorce, why the man face was blurred out in all the pictures when they were talking about them earlier in the episode. I also don't know if it was a little bit of get back when Stacy after Karen brought up she noticed that Stacy didn't have a wedding ring on. Then I saw, Stacy kind of cheers her champagne with Vivian, and she said, "Oh, we didn't even ask you. Are you okay with us drinking champagne?" And Karen was kind of like trying to play a bit. It's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, we're drinking champagne in front of you, and we didn't ask if you were okay with that." Uh, I thought that was honestly, I thought that was a little bit of a get back because she talked or brought up the whole you now have on a ring, what's going on in front of the cameras. And Karen used her age old excuse of, "No, I'm on medications. That's why I'm not drinking, but I will." Look, Victoria said we're thinking alike. Yeah, I do think it was a little bit of a get back. I definitely do. So I was like, she can get a little shady. We'll see how much more shade she got in her. But I definitely agree, Latoya. I think that was a little bit of a get back situation. And, you know, Karen cracks me up every time she's like trying not to drink. It's always she on medication. Like, girl, how many times is you on antibiotics? Like, you need to see an infectious disease doctor at this point. Someone's trying to say, and she said, "I never see a missing diamond." Yeah. Right. So I thought I found that interesting. We'll see more how their dynamic is since she's bringing her into the group. It's always a friend that a housewife bring in and then they turn on them. So we'll see how that works out. But I definitely thought that was calculated shade. And why do they do that though, right? Like, because she had a DUI, does that automatically make you an alcoholic? Not necessarily. So, hmm, it was kind of like, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? But I don't know. I will say when I taped Watch What Happens Live and Cameron was on there and I got to watch the whole episode, if you don't remember. First of all, she looked so cute on the episode. She had the little blonde flipped hair and she had on the little hot pants with the white shirt, I think with a tie. She looked so cute. But you could tell, honestly, in my opinion, that she had been drinking because she kept saying the same thing over and over again. Like she kept using the same, like, "Oh my Lord," or "Oh my word," something like that. She just kept saying through the whole tape. And I was like, "Oh, she lit." And that was not a late night taping. So I was like, "Girl, this is like midday, sis. You lit already?" Because Watch What Happens Live is not actually Watch What Happens Live all the time. Like, just so you know, most of the time we are taping days in advance. Just so you know. So I was kind of like, "Oh girl, all right." But so was I surprised at the whole DUI? No, because like you said, this is her second one. We mentioned that too, Latoria, how Ashley made it very clear at the beginning of the episode to let us know and remind us that this is her second offense. So yeah, we met Stacy, we met Vivian. We'll get to know them a little bit more. And then we get to Giselle's Hatitude party. And I said, what the hell is a Hatitude party? Like, it was definitely messier than the reasonably shady event that she hosted in her constructed driveway, honey. But it was just another devious plot to throw shade. Someone's finally says, Ashley said, if you have two, it does. I guess so. Yes, Latoya said, when Karen drink, that mouth get to going. Yeah, that mouth and them eyes. So when I tell you on that Watch What Happens Live, I was like, hmm. And even when she answered my question, I was like, okay. Okay, girl. But that's the grind down. I let people do what they do and I mind my business. Psych. What am I doing on here if that's the case? But yeah, the Hatitude party is underway. Just someone's finally said Giselle need to stop hosting events. Then where would the messy come from if she don't host the events? Like, we know what she here for. Like I said, and it ain't to be Karen's friend. But let me go back to my notes. Yes, the Hatitude party for Karen is underway. Ashley comes in first before all of the guests so she can try to get the tea on Karen because clearly she was in on Giselle going to breakfast with Karen so she can know the tea too. And she was clear that, Karen told me I can read. And she ain't, Ashley saying, well, I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth. So why you ain't asking Karen? Why you asking Giselle if you want it from the horse's mouth, sis? But yeah, she just came in to get the tea and it was none to be given at that time. Giselle invited Wendy, and I told you guys that, she's saying she want peace. I truly think it's because she ain't got her sidekick Robin. Not to say that Robin could handle Wendy either, because she couldn't, but she's missing her. It doesn't matter if the rest of the group doesn't like me or think something of me. I got Robin. She's missing that now, and she wants to get back into the group. Latoya said, why did Karen go all the way back to 2018 when Giselle threw her something as if she haven't threw nothing good since? Karen cracked me up. Yeah, about when she was sitting at the middle seat at the party she threw the last time. Nothing Giselle throws is good. I'm be honest. Not the GNA fashion show. Not the reasonably shady. That went terrible. Nothing Giselle throws is good. Even that party, the Karen party that she threw when she was sitting in the middle of the table, nothing she throws goes off without a shady mess. But yeah, that's why I think she invited Wendy because she doesn't have Robin. Mia comes in with her friend Jazzy, who owns Jazzy owns like a major hair company. I follow her on Instagram and she's engaged to, at the time, um she's, well, not to say at the time like she's not. She's still engaged to Darius Harris, who at the time of filming this was on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I saw some people because I let y'all in on a little bit of news over the weekend that Bravo, they're just piloting right now. It's not said to be official or a show, but they are piloting starting WAGs up. Like y'all know how we used to have WAGs on VH1, which is wives and girlfriends of, professional football players, athletes, or whatever. So they're piloting a WAG show on Bravo, said to be centered around Kansas City Chiefs girlfriends and wives. So I saw another page earlier today saying like, oh well, is that what Bravo got this idea from, being that Jazzy is engaged to a Kansas City Chief? Sorry to bust your bubble, kids. That man has been traded to Dallas Cowboys. He over there. And not to say that's not where they got that's not where they got the idea from, but Jazzy is already in cowgirl memorabilia, and she she was at the opening games and all of that. So yeah, her man has been traded. He's not like a great player because I am a football girl. Latoria, we talked about this. I mean, I don't even know if he even get that much playing time, to be honest with you. He might now because of half of Dallas Cowboys being on injured list right now, but he's not he ain't no Travis Kelsey, okay? But yeah, her man, he got a ring because he was on the team. You know, Ray Finkel got a ring. If you know, you know. But I don't know if it's centered around her or what have you, or if that was where the idea comes from. But he has been traded. Summer's Finest said, "Where did the theme of the party come from and the invite video?" I'm starting to think, Summer's Finest, that the producers are helping curate some of these events and these themes just to get a messy situation out of it. I really truly do. I agree with you, Latoya. Wags deserves another chance. I think it didn't do good because at the time it was released, too many bigger shows. Right. I definitely do. I enjoy Wags. I watched it. I still follow to this day Ashley. I don't know what happened with Ashley and Darnell's friendship, but that's like an unsolved mystery. Unless Tori, you gonna tell me why, but they left the show friends and were hanging out, and then all of a sudden they just weren't anymore, and they weren't chilling or being best friends. So it's like unsolved mysteries, unanswered questions. The Wags in LA, the two girls, Nicole and I forget the other girl, and they went on to do well in their influencer space, and we see them hanging out with Kim Kardashian and Chloe and all of them. So I really enjoyed the Wags show. I loved them. I really did. So when I saw that, I was excited. I just don't think it's based around Stacy. Might have been where they got the inkling to start it, but it's definitely not based around her. But I agree. I like the WAG show. I miss it. Cause basketball wise, I ain't gonna say it ain't hitting on nothing, but they ain't really basketball wives. So I'm looking for a show that actually is centered around athletes' actual girlfriends and wives and an opulent lifestyle. Cause that's what I watch these shows for. So if they can make it happen, I'm down to watch. But yeah, we did get to meet Jazzy last night. That's a little bit about her. She's gorgeous. She has a very successful hair company and she is in her fiance era right now. That he proposed to her and she is loving her fiance era. Love D Nice said, I love Wax. I was just talking about Ashley and Darnell. I think Darnell was a little jelly, but why? Because of her marriage? I mean, with a booty like that, why be jealous? Darnell's booty was everything. Everything. Like she had the body. And we were all rooting for Darnell because the her guy from the Miami Dolphins, he did her so dirty that we were rooting for her. To me, she had more popularity on the show than Ashley. Like we loved Ashley and she had a great husband. They're still together. Ashley looks like she's killing it in the real estate game now. Like she's selling huge mansions and stuff like that. She's doing well. I don't know why. Now, Darnell did try to get engaged again. The guy went all out, had her family out in Jamaica somewhere. He set it up all beautiful and he proposed. And then she like went ghost on Instagram for months and months and months and came back and really didn't give us much detail, but apparently the engagement didn't go well. Love G Nice said, yes, he did her wrong. I think it was the marriage. Oh, you think it's because of Ashley's successful marriage? Yeah. And Ashley's been through her things too. Like her man ain't playing no more. I mean, it looked like he was smart with his money. Their lifestyle hasn't changed, but he ain't playing no more. And now she's doing her real estate thing. Latoria talking about so they need to make a show surrounding the best quarterback in the league. Lamar, I couldn't help myself. Okay. That was a good game, Latoria. I will tell you that. That Bengals game had me like screaming, yelling at the TV. It was such a good game. I'm a Giants girl, and I've secretly been cheating on the Giants with the Lions for about 4 or 5 years now. This is the first year I've ever actually said it out loud. But that was a great game. You know me, Sundays is 7 hours of commercial-free football. I was so glad, y'all, that the game last night was delayed between the Steelers and Dallas. It literally was delayed the entire episode of Real Housewives of Potomac so I could see all of it without kind of like watching on my iPad and trying to watch. But yeah, yesterday was a great day in football. But I digress because I don't want the girlies to be like, what is this girl talking about? Yeah, but I would love if Wags come back and love D Nice, Latoria. I would love if it come back. I would even love if they would incorporate some of these girls that we kind of left off with their stories and don't know what happened with like Darnell, Ashley, and some of the other girls from the LA season. I would love that. But at the Hatitude party, because we still got so much to talk about, I'm just yapping it up with y'all. Karen makes it to the party, and wait, let me go back. Let me go back before Karen gets there. So we talked about Jazzy, and we met her. Cameron was late to the party, so Mia asked, had anybody spoke to well, Giselle asked Mia if she had spoke to Karen, knowing that they're beefing. And I don't know yet, Summer's fine, if I'm gonna review Queen's Court. I I don't know. It's coming on Bravo, so maybe I will. I normally don't review shows that come on like Peacock or Netflix because it's hard to get clips of it. So to put people into the highlights of it, like I do the other shows. But I'm gonna watch some more and see. I did watch last night's episode because again, the Dallas Steelers game was delayed even through that. So I watched it. I know it was coming on Peacock and it was premiering. I wasn't expecting Bravo to play it. So I watched it and I'm scarred from Tamar and JR and the toxicity that they've been bringing to our timeline. So I was like, I'm gonna check it out, but I don't know. But we'll see if I'm gonna review it. I'm gonna watch a little bit more. Summer's Finest said also Love is Blind. Love is Blind, I'm having the hardest time getting through. I don't know if it's because the other seasons seem so much better. I'm tired of the crying. I can't get through the pods and the dates and the crying and the trauma bonding. And it just seems a little bit corny to me. I am really trying, but I'm on episode 2 for like 3 days now. Summer's Finest with Love is Blind. I don't know if I'm going to recap Love is Blind, but I will do my best to get through it. I have a long drive ahead of me soon. So I'm going to probably listen to it on this long ass drive I have coming up soon. But I don't know if I'm going to recap it, but I probably will do what I did the last couple of seasons where I do like a prediction of who will actually walk down the aisle and get married. And I call it like Love is Blind or Does Love Have a Black Eye? And I kind of rate each couple and who will actually get married. So I'll probably do that, but I don't think I'm going to recap Love is Blind because I'm not liking it so far. I'm going to give it a chance, but every time I be looking, I'm like, yo, this still episode 2? I gave you guys my first initial thoughts. I posted my first initial thoughts about this Love is Blind season, but they're just no AD and Clay type situations or like love triangles. There is one love triangle, it seems like, but she already broke up with the other dude. Is she gonna go back? I don't know. And her with them questionable white boots. I forget the girl name. I gotta go back and look, but she looks so much better when she stopped trying to dress up and just be herself with the Converses and the sweats. She looks so much cuter that day. Yeah, like AD is gonna be on the other show though. No, Latoya, it's season 7 of Love is Blind right now on Netflix. It started this past week. Hannah, yeah. Hannah looks better when she dressed down. And I was like, now that's, you can tell she's trying to be comfortable and she's herself. She looked way better. But yeah, it's season 7 and AD is gonna be on that other show. Like there's another show after Love is Blind where they bring them back and try to match them up with other people from other shows. I forget what it's called, but AD is gonna be on that. Oh, you said it's not the show you were thinking. Are you thinking Queen's Court, Latoria? Because that's what Summer's Finest was asking about. Queen's Court is with Delicious, Lisa Ray, and K Michelle looking for love right now. That might be what you're talking about. They're on season 2. So I'm gonna watch a little bit more of Queen's Court because after I saw Dr. Elam on there, I was like, oh shit, I might have to get this more, get us a little bit more thought. But I'm just so turned off how nothing worked out from the first season. I was like, is what's the last name? Pete Robinson Pete or whatever her name is. Are y'all really good love matchmakers? Because JR and Tamar is terrible, terrible toxic mess on our timeline. So I don't know. Yeah, Latoya said that's the show she was thinking about. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that though and see if Delicious fall for this fool or do she get a hint? Because y'all was blowing up my comments this morning after I posted that about that Dr. Elam guy. But yeah, but yeah, Giselle asked Mia, let's get back into Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all be taking me all over because I'm never getting out of this chair. But I will be because there's a game tonight, okay? Monday Night Football. But yeah, Giselle asked me if she's talked to Karen knowing they got a beef. She said no. But Jackie then says, Jackie was talking a lot last night, y'all, for a friend of. It was a little bit annoying. I know some people like Jackie because we've seen her on the show before beefing with me, but she was getting a little bit on my nerves last night. We'll get into it. But this was like her chance. She jumped in it like, well, she didn't call you, but she called me. And Mia jumps back in and say, well, you said she was drunk when she called you, so that don't even count. And she's like, Mia. So that seemed calculated to me as well. I don't know why that was necessary to say, knowing that she's in the middle of a case. These are not real friends, y'all. You in the middle of a DUI case and they up here talking about how you drunk calling them. Like, these are not real friends. And you cannot convince me otherwise. Um, but then at that point, that I think that was very messy. But at that point, Karen makes her way into the party, and everybody introduces herself. The new girl seemed positive and upbeat and glad to meet her, and not really in her business. But these old ones is all in her business. So Karen makes her way into the party, and Giselle immediately being messy with her drink announcements because at what party do they announce the cocktails? Have we seen that before? Why was that necessary for her to announce the three drinks? I think it was called the Sarah County, something else, and the Grand Dame, which was a non-alcoholic beverage. She wanted to bring that up again, being messy. That is not her real friend. That was messy. And then Karen didn't even order it. She was like, I'll get iced tea. I ain't even ordering that mocktail you trying to name after me. And we saw Giselle get a little shady in her confessional, like, yeah, it's a non-alcoholic drink, and I called it Grand Dame because it's buttoned up and non-alcoholic, like Karen wants y'all to think she is. Like, these are not your real friends, Karen. Because they're doing this while you're in the middle of a case, even as we speak. This case is still going on. So, what are we doing here? Latoya said that was scripted by me, and that's why it backfired. Yes, they got her at the end. But yeah, I thought that was messy trying to announce the drinks and have a non-alcoholic drink. Um, then we get into these hats. Like, and again, even the hats seem like they were provided for a reason. Oh, I thought something was wrong with my set or something. My husband walking by, I'm like, what, my mic off or something? For the people interacting. But yeah, we get into the Hatitude party where these hats were made for each of the ladies and their names. And even that was orchestrated to be messy. And that's why some of fine, as I was saying, I feel like production is even helping curate these events that we never hear in real life. Like on Love and Hip Hop ATL, they having a baby mama reveal. Over here, we're doing a Hatitude party. These are curated events by production. Even Diamond and her engagement slash marriage party that was cute. These are curated events. Mama D with her Mother's Appreciation lit brunch that was nowhere near Mother's Day. These are all curated events for the bullshit. You can't convince me otherwise. Someone's finally said the mama party was popping, literally fights, chaotic passing out in the bathroom, like literally, it was, it was popping for real. So the attitude party, she gives out the hat, and she gives Karen the first hat, and she calls it Hollywood. To me, that was to disarm her and be like, "Oh, I love this hat, Hollywood." And then it was like, "Okay, so now we want to ask you questions because the people have been asking me. Ain't nobody asked you nothing, Giselle." But she's basically putting Karen in the hot seat to answer people's questions about her DUI at her own birthday party. Like, who does that, bruh? Who does that? And at first, everybody's so silent, they have nothing to say. And here go Jackie again, chiming in, like, sis, you're a friend of. You don't even really know her like that. So why are you the first one to speak? And be like, well, I'll go first. And her comments to me, like, Mia put the battery in her back for her to be like, well, I'm just glad ain't nobody get hurt. Wasn't no children unalived. Like, even Vivian looked at her like, "Why would you say that? Like, why bring children into it? It was in the middle of the night. Wasn't nobody coming home from school? Like, what that got to do with anything?" So it was just messy. It was messy. And do we know why he passed out yet? No, Latoya, we don't know. I got a couple ideas or suggestions in my head that I keep to myself, but do we know why he passed out? Mm-mm. But people that just don't go into the bathroom and pass out every single day. So uh, we'll leave it at that. But I got my own opinions on that one. But yeah, we do know why Latoya he passed out because Bambi was so thick. Remember? But anyway, y'all stop getting me off the subject. So Karen basically lets them know it's a legal matter. She can't speak on it, but at the end of the day, she's looking to this situation will reveal to her who's a friend and who's a foe. She don't want no fake bitches around her, and that's what she said. Like, so this situation will teach her that over time of who's real and who's not. And I'm here to tell you, girl, nobody in the group except for Wendy. Wendy seemed like she wasn't gonna get involved. She was making all the faces that we was making in our house, like whoop, whoop, whoop. That was Wendy was doing, but Wendy didn't seem like she was really involved in any of that messy conversations or shady conversations. So maybe Wendy and the new girls, except for Stacy's on the fence right now, but like Vivian seemed like she wouldn't do anything like that to her. But Giselle and them, absolutely not. Latoya talking about children getting hurt. She better be worried about her son being hurt and picked at school. The mess she done pulled on national TV. Yeah. And someone's finally said, honey, if she couldn't find out from her last lawsuit, DUI taxes. Yeah. So I just thought Jackie was doing extremely too much to be a friend of, and it seemed like it was all rehearsed with with Mia. And that's why Mia was up next. They gave her the pimp hat linked to the side hat because yes, like I told y'all, she it's a revolving door over there. And then they brought up her situation. They asked, "Well, are we gonna meet Ink? When was we gonna meet him?" And here go Jackie chiming in again. Well, he's not a rapper. I want to say I think she's very happy with him, and with G, it was a business arrangement. Again, it seemed like things that Mia rehearsed with her to say, but I'm like, girl, here you go. She just kept chiming in too much to be a friend of. Latoya said DJ Applebox. Yeah. Yes, well, yeah, that's why they were saying like they take all their pictures with her standing back like this, or them holding hands and stretching out to make it look like he taller than her, or they're at least the same height. I was cracking up. Yeah, and Jackie, she chimes in again, and they say to her like, business arrangement, Giselle and now I will say Giselle and Cameron seemed like they had talked about that and was on the same page as well too. But they were like, business arrangement, that's a long business arrangement. Like you gave birth for a business arrangement twice. You went through IUI for a business arrangement. It's not adding up. Which yeah, I don't know if Mia ever really loved G. I do think on her part, it might have been business. It was like, I met this man in the club. I'm going to seduce him and be taken care of for the rest of my life. And, also be smart about it and open me a chain of massage envies or whatever she had popping before they got to, had started open the joint chiropractic franchises or whatever. But for G, do I think it was a business relationship on his end? No. And that's why Cameron said, like, do G know this, that it was a business relationship? I don't know. But she better be careful what she say if that divorce is not all the way finalized, because he'll turn into a Simon Gabadio on you, girl. Start subpoenaing you. So I don't know. But Summer's finest. I'm talking about something. But before she said she didn't marry him for business because she got money, she had an inheritance. From who? From where? From where? Her mom that she can't even get to help babysit for her? Where she get an inheritance from? She was adopted. Where? Like, some things Mia say, you gotta just let it go over your head because she ain't had no damn money from nowhere. She talking about something, she had her money in cash. Yeah, because you was stripping at the steakhouse. Like, what is you talking about? That's why you had your money in cash under the mattress. Stop it. She ain't have no inheritance or no money like that. No long money like that. Like, let's be honest. Love D Nice says, because if she did, why did Ink think it's his baby? Yeah. Hmm. Her great great grandparents. Stop it, Love D Nice. Stop it. She was adopted. From where? Stop it. Victoria said another lie from me. The forecast care system. She said the foster care system don't give inheritance. Exactly. Like, stop it, girl. But yeah, they asked them, if we were gonna see Ink, and then Karen got into, well, let's talk about this situation for a minute because it was plastered everywhere that, G is saying that Jeremiah, or that Ink thinks Jeremiah is his, and that they made a comment, or Giselle made the comment that Mia didn't protect her children by having this kind of come out on the show, or even for the fact that G said last season that the kids told him, "We saw mommy sleeping with Mr. Ink." Like, if you cheating and doing your thing, why your kids there? Why are you putting them in the middle of a confusing situation, is what Giselle was trying to say. Now, listen, I'm be honest, I didn't feel sorry for me at all. I didn't. But I also get what Wendy's saying. Like, it's a very touchy subject when somebody starts questioning your mothering skills. That's like, in momhood, that's like mom 101, that you don't really, you might talk about them behind their back, but you don't kind of criticize anybody's mothering skills. So did I care that Mia went out screaming and crying? No. You put yourself in this boat, you put your marriage on national TV. And right, all I can say is, me personally, whether me and my husband had an arrangement that I can go be sleeping with somebody else or not, or if I was just doing it, my kids would not be around that. They would know just their dad. And that's just, I'm going to just say that on that. That is what I personally would do. So she ran out screaming and saying, "You guys say I don't protect my kids? My kids are in travel football." I'm like, what that got to do with anything? But I guess you're trying to say, like, they're well rounded and they're in extracurricular activities. They're doing well. They're thriving. Why would she bring that up? Summer Finest said Mia left G because he broke. Agreed. Summer Finest also said, I left sorry for Mia. Like, kids should be off limits and it come from nowhere. You felt sorry for her. Yeah, I didn't necessarily feel sorry for her, but I know not to criticize anybody's mothering skills. We all, mother different. Like I said, I personally would not have my children around my side dude, or even if we were separated, I be talking about that. Like, God forbid I was ever to separate from my husband or divorce my husband, it would be in the contract that he can't have nobody else around my kids unless they get married and they've been together 10 years. People really put that type of stuff. You can make those type of decisions. So that's just, I wouldn't have my kids around anybody else like that. But that's just what I would do. If that's what she did, like I said, it did seem like Karen and Giselle, even though they messy on each other, they was kind of in cahoots last night when it came to getting at Mia. Not my husband done popped up on YouTube said I need that in writing. What you need in writing? Cause you ain't getting nothing in writing. Cause you ain't going nowhere. No, he didn't, y'all. He watching, little hater. Victoria said G is not broke at all. Once Mia is finally divorced from him, his family will give him all his money back. I could believe that, Victoria. Like, we really don't know what she tried to make like she was the voice of reason in between him and his family. But I could totally believe that they're saying, listen, you're using all your money to satisfy this woman. When you get it together, then we'll let you back in the business. That's a great point, Latoria. Latoria also said Mia tried to make people think G family like her, but they don't. Yeah. What we was exactly just saying. Someone's finest said, is he really the side dude or the kid's real father? Well, I guess we'll find out. Why did Maury retire? Because all we need Maury to do now is work for these shows. We need him to find out if Joey is the father of one of Kim's sons on Life After Lockup. We need him to help us with this Jeremiah situation on Love and Hip Hop. Y'all know Scrappy got an alleged baby mama out here. Why did Maury retire? He could come back and just come out and do the paternity test on these reunion specials for these reality TV shows and we'll be good. But yeah, I don't know if he really decided to or not. We just know that Ink was someone she dated young. He was doing his radio thing. They went separate ways and at a young age, and now then she got married with G. They drifted back together. G allegedly said, hey, I know I've had prostate cancer, things ain't working like they used to. You can go ahead and do your thing. But it seemed like she was already doing that before he even gave the okay to it, if you ask me, if he ever actually gave the okay to it. Someone's finally said, what radio is he on? Not mine. He ain't on Power 105.1. He's supposed to be down there in Atlanta on a radio show, but the only person I be seeing on the radio down there in Atlanta is Young Jock. But that's where he's supposed to be. That is a good question. We should look that up and see what radio station. But that's what's supposed to be down there in Atlanta. What radio station is Mia? And boyfriend on. See it for to tell me real quick. It says Mia has been in a relationship with Atlanta-based radio host. Do y'all know that Ink stand for is AKA Incognito? I didn't know what the ink was short for, but now it's Incognito. Red flag. But that's all it says. It just says Atlanta-based radio station. Latoria said he is the side dude because G put a ring on it. The word on the street is that G is the father from the DNA. I think so too. There's no way they're hanging out the way they are or have been this whole summer. Like I've seen them on her page and he found out that Ink was the baby daddy. That's why I struggle with, is this even a real storyline or not? But it's not telling me what. It just says Atlanta-based radio show. I will look into that though and get you the answer. But I didn't know that. But y'all, I know is Young Jock down there. And he ain't on Power 105.1 or Hot 97. You hear me? Someone's finally said we gotta listen and call in and ask a question or two. Now here we go. You sending me down a rabbit hole and I'm ready to go. We're gonna figure it out and we're gonna call in, win some concert tickets or something, or ask some questions. Now you got me interested in doing some foolishness. Here we go. Not you like him better when he was a rapper. No. Who, Young Jock? A mess. Latoya said, I think me a lion and it's a podcast. Y'all think you got a pod? Well, I don't know. That was on the Bravo site where it says the Atlanta based radio station, but not the pod and not a real radio station. Mia trying to beef that man up. That is a podcast host. Latoya said, he isn't on 85 South. Well, and I used to listen to that when I used to go to Atlanta back in the day in my rental car. So you are absolutely right. It ain't the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Y'all get on my nerves. But I mean, overall, D Candy was not here for one of my other followers. Like, she's a very tough critic on these shows, though. She'll be want to give none of them a chance. But yeah, I mean, after the episode, we did see like a brief kind of like trailer situation, and it definitely looks like it's gonna get interesting. I'm definitely here to see more of it and see what it has to offer. Now, I do feel like Salt Lake City has set the bar way up here, and I agree with Summer's Finest. This was like a 6 out of 10 for me. Not meaning that there won't be better episodes to come. So I'm gonna hang in there. I'm gonna support the ladies. I'm gonna keep recapping them, and I think there's gonna be some good episodes mixed in there. So y'all hang in there and keep watching. So before I get out of here, anybody watch Tia Mori's show? Did you guys watch the premiere of her show this past Friday after Life After Lockup? My Next Act? I was talking to my husband about it last night. I don't know if I'm going to recap it here because I'm not sold yet because every confessional, she's crying. She was crying a lot, Latoria. So Latoria said she watched it. She cried a lot. I'm not convinced yet that these are not casted friends and not her actual best friends. I don't want nobody to think we're still talking about Potomac, but I'm not convinced, guys. I'll talk about it a little bit more on the Thursday show, but the earthy Brooklyn chick, I'm not convinced that's really one of her friends. The conveniently placed actress, that's her friend. And I also saw that TT is going to be her friend on the show. You guys know TT from Growing Up Hip Hop, Salt and Pepper and Egypt's cousin. She's strategically, in my opinion, placed on this show to be a friend as well. So I don't know. I'm struggling with a lot of crying happening. I like to have fun when I watch reality TV. That show was like downer, but I'm not convinced yet that those friends were not strategically placed. Um, Even her being so sad about taking her kids, and I don't want to sound cruel, just being honest with you guys. They've been divorced now for about a year, so Tia was recently taping this show. Like this wasn't taped a long, 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 long time ago. She was recently taping it. So to see her, be so distraught over dropping her kids off, and granted, I don't know how long it takes to get over that, but I'm just not sure it's genuine yet. And I'm also spoiled because if you watch the show back in the day when she had a reality show with her sister, I wasn't surprised that she said that they're not close. If you watch their original show on WeTV together, they were always clashing and bumping heads. They are literally the opposite, like literally on the opposite, like night and day. So they were always bumping heads and beefing there. So I don't know if I'm gonna recap that one either. I got to give it a little more. I was just trying to see if many of y'all watched it and what was y'all thoughts on it. Love D Nice said, I haven't started yet. I'm a binge it. I don't think you can binge it, Love D Nice, because it's coming on WeTV, but the first episode came out Friday. So at least watch that one and tell me what you think. Latoya said, "Girl, they are. You know good and well them old ladies who was at that party didn't know her. The one with the red hair and the bushy ponytail." Right. Latoya said, "You can tell by the looks that was given." You know what else I said, Latoya? She's not giving us enough detail on what happened with her divorce. Like she's keep telling us we have no idea and she's so obsessed with what is being said in headlines about the marriage, yet she's not being completely honest with us. We got more tea from the medium through the grandma telling her her business than we did from Tia. That's how I felt. I was more tuned into the media and telling, well, you felt like, your grandmama saying that you made a mistake. You knew you made a mistake a few months into the marriage. You knew you made a mistake. So we was getting more tea from that. Someone's finally said, "Caught in the act, please review for a laugh." Okay, I will. Caught in the act is starting off slow to me as well. Summer's finest. Like the first episode, we didn't see an actual like scandal. He actually was kind of not caught really doing anything. The other one with the brothers, the twins, the fact that he did his twin like that, it was given a little actor type to me. And I don't want Latoria to hear me saying this because she already told me that Courtney Act gets fake. She don't believe that it's real anyway. She said that she told me that all the time. So yeah, I'ma see. I'ma see. But yeah, I'll give you when one is really, really good and funny, I will definitely recap it as far as Caught in the Act goes. But it's like a slow warm up for me on that show too. Latoria said facts. They not speaking now over political child. Tia feel like Tamara should be for Kamala because of their mother, and Tamara is Republican. Tamara is Republican with her husband, so it's over husband beef. Yeah, like I was not surprised that they're not close. You could tell that from their first show, which was really really good. So maybe that's what it was too. My expectations were like up here because I really liked the dynamic when they were on reality TV before, but I don't know. And plus, Summer's fine. And currently I am recapping almost every single day except for Tuesdays because there's no show on Monday. So I'm already doing Tea Talks every single day except for Tuesday right now. But there's gonna be some slots opening up. Love and Marriage Detroit season finale is Saturday. This Saturday coming up. That was such a quick. So Sundays will be open for me to recap stuff. Mondays is open right now. There's nothing coming on Mondays, so Tuesday is open for a recap right now. So I'll try to fit some in because I have Real Housewives of New York and something else. I think it's 11 Hip Hop coming on the same day. So I'm trying to recap them on Wednesdays and figure that out. But there's some space, Priscilla mom, sis, and a wife, but there's some space to figure out. There's some shows ending. We don't have too many episodes left of Love and Hip Hop ATL. I'm just not sure if Miami is coming back right after that. So there's some spaces to talk about. Love is Blind here and there if it gets good. If, Caught in the Act gets good, there are some spaces. So we'll figure it out. Victoria said, "Are they going to end Love and Marriage Detroit? They wasn't on long." I don't know if they're gonna end it. I have to look at TV Deets and see how their ratings have been doing. It feels like this is like a mid-season finale, kind of how like they did Love and Marriage Huntsville, and maybe one of the others will come back. I haven't seen any trailers for the rest of Love and Marriage Huntsville, but that should be coming back because they finished filming the second part. And I don't know what's going on with DC. Ashley doesn't look like she's taping at all, but it was a really, really, really short season. I'm trying to figure out if it's a mid-season trailer or not. Summer's Finest said, "I hope so because the show is corny." Summer's Finest doesn't like it, Latoria. So I enjoyed it. I mean, nothing else coming on Saturday nights right now, so I kind of enjoyed it, but we'll see. So there's some slots opening up where we'll figure out some things of if these shows get better, because you gotta, I'll post stuff on my page, but to be talked about on the podcast, you gotta step it up some. So we're gonna see. Lovely Nice said, definitely been trash. Okay, Lovely Nice, you don't like it neither. Is that why you wasn't showing up to my recaps on Sundays? Because y'all wasn't feeling it. I tell you, my Love and Marriage Detroit recap this past Sunday was 22 minutes long, and we've been here since 6:30, and it's almost 8 o'clock for Real Housewives of Potomac. We talked about some other stuff, but what does that tell you? I guess it's not that great, but I was watching it. We'll see. But yeah, that is my recap for tonight. I'm gonna go get ready for Monday Night Football, see who wins this game. But before I get out of here, you guys know I'm looking for sponsors on my podcast. Still looking. I don't know if y'all heard my story at the beginning of this of how somebody tried to scam me and emailing me talking about they was Fashion Over and that they wanted me to be an ambassador. Luckily, I'm smart enough and didn't fall for the okie doke. But y'all really brought my energy back because I was sad today. I really was. Like, I was excited. I thought I had got my first influencer type, sponsorship deal for my podcast. It didn't work out. But I don't do this for the money. I do it because I truly enjoy it. And I hope you guys can tell that this is not, I don't recap anything that I don't actually watch. I don't recap anything that I haven't been watching since day one. So I hope you guys can feel my genuineness of it. I did think that, yeah, Love D Nice Girl. I got an email. I think somebody saw the post where I had posted me talking about like on Sundays I wear Fashion Over pajamas when I do the Sunday midday tea talk on Love and Marriage Detroit that you don't like. I usually wear like pajamas from Fashion Over. And I had posted a clip saying like, y'all tell Fashion Over to send me pajamas, let's work. And it was a little confusing because I actually did go to Fashion Nova's site and like fill out their influencer form, and I got an email saying like, "Oh, congratulations, you've been chosen." It was rinky dink, so I was skeptical, but I was talking to them and they was like telling me, "Okay, pick your first 8 outfits." And I'm saying, "But where's the contract? How frequently do you want me to post? How much are you gonna pay me?" They was like, "Oh, we're gonna pay you $1,000 each post, and we just want 2 posts a week." And I was like, right off the bat, y'all paying $1,000 a post, and they were like, "We'll talk about more." And then it got into, all right, well, give us the address to send your clothes. I gave them somebody else's address, right? Just to see. And I didn't want to give them any of my contact information that could be linked to my credit or my social, anything like that. So I was smart enough not to give, I just gave them an address and I gave them my business cell phone number, which isn't tied to anything but my business. So I didn't give them anything really personal. And yeah, bottom line, they started saying, well, okay, well, for the first shipment of your items, you have to pay $60 for us to ship it because, we're trying to weed out the influencers that don't do what they say. And you pay the first $60 shipment, and after that, we'll send it to you for free. We'll take care of the rest of the delivery. So then I start asking questions because I said, well, how do I pay the $60? They're like, oh, Cash App, Bitcoin, red flag. And yeah, they were like, okay, well, you send the $60 to this Cash App. And the Cash App that they gave was like Jody Watson or something. It wasn't Fashion Over LLC or anything like that. And they're telling me, well, this is one of the logistics managers. So then I started digging and Googling, well, logistics manager. Let me see who the logistics manager is on LinkedIn for Fashion Nova. And then my husband helped me. He looked on YouTube and we saw what people were saying, like beware of these type of emails. And I actually, yes, Love D Nice. I actually ended up reaching out to Fashion Nova directly and saying, like, hey, is this you? And they wrote back saying, no, that's not them. They would never send anything from a Gmail domain. So I did not get scammed. I didn't give them any personal information because I know people do this all the time. But I was a little embarrassed and just sad because I was like, I thought I had did something, but it's all right. I know eventually it's gonna come. If I just keep doing what I love, it's gonna come. So if you have a business or a product you want me to promote, my promotional rates are there. If you want to be a sponsor for the podcast, If you want to do the promotion on the page or be a sponsor for the podcast, you can email me what you see here, just like the scammers did at reality_recap@yahoo.com. My Cash App is there in the corner. I appreciate the support you've given so far. I really do appreciate you guys and the support. So, please continue because the tea is not free. So hit me up at $reality recap. Oh, no, I was about to say .com, but no, it's not. It's $reality recap, like you see down there. How do you support for free? Share, like, go to the links in my bio, please, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that all of my midday tea talks that you don't get to see while they're live are loaded there, as well as my weekly recap of reality news every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, like I say, before I end all my lives, reality TV stars are humans too. Don't forget that. I will be back Wednesday with your midday tea talk on Tuesday's night's episode of Love and Hip Hop ATL. Look out for sneak peeks for that. I'm going to go enjoy this game and see who wins. And y'all have a good night and a good rest of your week. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. I'll catch y'all on Wednesday. Peace.